Welcome to my first Greenfoot lesson at MrStewart'sLessons.com. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to make a video game in Greenfoot. And to start the video game, what we need to do is we need to download a demo file that I've created to help you start the game. And you can do it by going to MrStewart'sLessons.com, and I'm going to hit enter, and that'll take me to that lesson. And you'll notice in the Greenfoot lessons, in lesson 1, I have one that says download demo. So I want you to click and download the demo. And you're going to download the demo file. It's a zip file. You're going to unzip it, and then you're going to start the part that says project. So I'm not going to do that right now because it's a little different on every computer. I will let you do it. I want you to pause it, download the lesson, and then come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, welcome back, and right now you should have downloaded the zip file. To make the program run, what you should do is drag the zip file to someplace else like your desktop, and then double click on it. That's going to unzip the file. Everybody extracts a little bit differently depending on what program you run. When I unzip it, I'm going to have a folder called Gold Buggies, and I'll double click on that folder, and I want to double click on the one that says project, and that's going to actually open the Greenfoot file. When you open it, here's what you're going to see. This is a world called Gold Buggy World, a part of the world subclass of the world class, which I'll explain later. And it's got an actor in it. The actor is the Gold Buggy, which is a little vehicle I have created. And if I want to put a Gold Buggy in, I can hold down Shift, I can click, and I can put my Gold Buggy down. My Gold Buggy doesn't do anything yet because I haven't given it any code, because I want you to give it the code. There's a thing that says run. Run is going to make the Gold Buggy do whatever it does, but right now it doesn't do anything because I haven't given it any code. If I want to make it do something, I can double click on the Gold Buggy, and I can see the code for the Gold Buggy. Don't worry about most of it. The part that's interesting to us is the part inside where it says public void act. Act is a method. A method is something that an object like the Gold Buggy does. And you'll notice that it says add your action code here. We're going to highlight that and we're going to delete it. That was just a comment. That doesn't really do anything yet. And we're going to give it an action. The action we want it to do is to move. So to make it move, I'm going to use one of the methods that's available to this particular class, this Gold Buggy class, and it gets its methods from the things it's subclasses of, like actor and vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control Space. Control Space is going to give me all of the things that this object is going to be able to do. You'll see here's all of the things that are listed that this object is able to do. The one we're looking for is the one that says move. Move is a method. It means it's something that the object can do. So don't worry about what's around it. Let's just double click on move here to see what it does. You'll notice that it pops up, and inside the parentheses there's something called distance. The distance is how much we want it to move. That's called an argument. An argument is something that we give to a method to tell it some information to do its job. So the information it needs to know is how much we want it to move. I want it to move 10 pixels, so I'm going to type 10 inside there. And then I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to press the semicolon. And I'm going, because every line in Greenfoot has to end with the semicolon. So I want you to pause it. I want you to open up the Gold Buggy class and put the move command in the way I just did, and then come back. Okay, so you should have put the move command inside your gold buggy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it, and I'm going to see that my gold buggy has stripes through it. That means it needs to be compiled. It needs to be put into machine language so that the computer knows what it's going to do. And I need to do that every time I change the code. So I'm going to press the compile command. And you notice any gold buggies I put down before are gone. So I'm going to make sure I have gold buggy selected. I'm going to hold down the shift key. And when I hold down the shift key, a gold buggy appears. I'm going to place it down. And I can put as many gold buggies as I want by holding down the shift key and putting them in other places. When I press the act command, it's going to do that act method that I showed you, and it's going to make them move 10 pixels. And then when I press the run command, it's going to make it do the act command over and over and over again. And the buggies are going to move until they get to the end of the screen, and they're going to stop. So I want you to pause it, put a few gold buggies down, press the act command and watch it do its thing, and then press the run command and watch the buggies run until they get to the end. Okay, let's do one more thing before we stop. Right now our buggies, when they get to the end, just go and stop and they're done. We want them to be able to turn and go somewhere else. So I'm going to change the code one more time. I'm going to put in what's called a conditional. A conditional in this case is an if statement. We're saying if something happens, then do something else. So I'm going to type if. I'm going to do open parentheses, which we always do. This is what called our condition is. The condition is the thing we're checking for. We want to see if we've got to the end of the screen yet. So I need a method that's going to check to see if if we're going off the map. And there is an off the map method that'll tell me if that exists. So I'm going to hold down Control and space. I'm going to look for the off the map method, which is right here. So off the map is going to give me a true or false condition that tells me if it's gone off the map. So I'm going to click close parentheses, and then I'm not going to put a semicolon. I'm going to hit enter, and then do an open bracket. We're not putting a semicolon because we're not at the end of the line, because we need to tell it what to do if it's going off the map. So I do an open bracket, I hit enter, and I want to make it turn when it gets to the end of the map. And so I'm going to hit Control space, and I'm going to look for the method that's called turn. And I have to go up a little bit here to see it. So I'm going to double click on turn. And again, you notice there's an amount. The amount is how many degrees we want it to turn. So I'm going to put in 10. And then here I have to put a semicolon because this is giving it a command. And then I have to hit enter one more time, and I have to do a close bracket to close the block of things I want it to do when it goes off the map. So now I'm going to close it. You notice my gold buggy has to be compiled again, so I'm going to click compile. All my gold buggies will disappear. I'm going to put some new gold buggies on. And I'm going to run them. They're going to go to the edge of the screen, but this time they're going to turn when they get to the edge of the screen. And now I'm going to pause it. And when you come back next time, I'm going to show you how to make the gold buggy follow your own commands.